Hi, it's Ray here. I am here today to talk about a spelling curriculum that I used for a couple months at the beginning of this year. I did stop using this because I decided it was not the right fit for my family, but I still wanted to talk to you about it so that you could see and decide for yourself if it's right for you. So the spelling curriculum that I am going to talk about today is called Spelling UC. We're using Level D because it came with my Level D BookShark curriculum. I knew it was by the same company as Matthew C, which is created by Dem Learning and Steve Dem over there, which if you have a chance to check out Matthew C, I highly recommend it. I will have to make a whole another video about that sometime because while I love Matthew C, this Spelling UC didn't really work out for us, and I'll show you why. So Spelling UC is inspired by some older, more traditional methods of education, and it relies on copywork. When I first heard of this, I didn't even really know it. Like, I'd heard some other moms talk about copywork. I didn't understand what that meant. But it literally means copy. In here, you'll see that they have a sentence, and the child needs to copy it. And they also read, so they read the paragraph, and then they'll get the chance to copy it. And they do that over the course of 5 days. And by the end of the 5th day, they won't have a prompt to help them. They'll kind of have to try and memorize it, if you see. So, on the very last one, there's like no help at all. But as you'll see, it's just copying. Now, that doesn't work for my son. I don't even think that would work for me. That's not how I learned when I was a child. I think it works for some people because it relies on muscle memory, which is a real thing. It's absolutely a real thing. But I don't think it can be the sole aspect in learning spelling. I think, my belief is that spelling needs to be from multiple different methods at the same time, kind of converging together. So while copywork could be implemented, I do think that there needs to be a full understanding of phonics, which is part of reading. Sounding out words and memorization is also important. This did not work at all for my son, so I ended up trying another spelling curriculum, and then that he did better with, but I'm still not completely satisfied. So I'm gonna try a third curriculum as well. And I will make videos on all of these spelling curriculums because this has actually been the hardest one for me to pinpoint what is right for my son. And that's okay. Sometimes that's just how homeschooling works. It's kind of hard to find what works for your son or your daughter. It just, you don't know what you don't know until you try it, and you just got to try it out. But Spelling UC is just copywork. So for my son, it's themed in American history, which he absolutely loves. Like, he loves American history. It's insane. It matches up perfectly with the curriculum in BookShark, which is great. And it made me sad that I had to let that go because they're like mini stories about American history. But for us, it amounted to nothing more than just handwriting practice. And that's not what this was for. We already have a handwriting practice book in Handwriting Without Tears. So it didn't really contribute anything to progress for us. Now, I am keeping them, and I told you just a second ago that it really is just more of handwriting practice. I'm keeping this for summer work so that he can work on his handwriting and he can read the stories that he finds interesting, but I'm not counting on it being spelling. It's just not for us. I will say that if you do like copywork, and it does work for you, because I know it does work for some people, it's actually a two-parter. So there's 2 books. There's the first one, and then there's the second one. And the second one, it really does kind of go in a historical timeline. So it starts from the beginning of American history. It goes through the American Revolution. It goes through the Civil War. It goes, it looks here. This one, it looks like it ends on the moon landing. So you go through most of history through a good chunk of the 20th century. It does come with an instructor's book. There isn't a whole lot you need to read in it. They stress that you don't work on it for more than 10 minutes. This is a common thing you see in a lot of curriculums with young children, that you shouldn't force them to work on it longer than 10 minutes because they need to not feel pressured. And that's okay. Most of this book is going to be just the paragraphs you read for dictation, because you do dictate it on that 5th day when they're not reading it. You dictate it and they need to spell it from hearing. They need to try and spell it when you're saying the words, basically. There is a little bit of recognition of, you know, consonants and vowels and things like that. So it's not complete copywork, but I don't think it's strong enough in the areas I need it to be effective for my family. It does work for some people. Some people absolutely love this. For my family, it didn't work out the way it's meant to, and we're having to seek out a curriculum from somewhere else. Does that mean that it won't work for you? Absolutely not. It could totally work for your child because every child is different. That is all I have for you on Spelling UC today. I will definitely be reviewing more spelling curriculum because we still have to find the right fits. But let me know what you think. Is Spelling UC something you would use for your family? Is it the right fit for you? Or do you think that you need a little something more with a little more oomph in it? What do you think? You just let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.